What is going on, guys? We are here for week 7 of the GT4 Fixed track guide series. We're at Indianapolis Road Course, the new version in the Merc GT4 on the iRacing Fixed setup. And we will kick off like we always do, walk through lap followed by a hot lap. So this track's pretty cool. The old version was a lot of fun. I've had quite a bit of success here, but yeah, the new track, it's got a couple little unique characteristics that will make it will change the way you drive it slightly. So obviously the first thing to note is there's so many like brake marker boards starting at 8 going all the way to 1. So you've got to pick that right one. So for turn 1, I'm aiming around that 500 mark. Just the sheer speed you're carrying down into 1. These cars, especially on cold tyres, the braking in them isn't fantastic. The big heavy braking zones, you tend to need a little bit more braking marker. But then obviously with the short twisty corners, it's more tapping the brake and getting the car to rotate. So 5 board, 450, 500 as the fuel comes out and the tyres warm up, you probably could push it to 450. Back to second gear. Turn in at the 1 board. You want to turn in quite early. Try not to hit the curb, but because it's such a big curb, it will unsettle the car. So you want to get as close as possible and then sort of put yourself in the middle of the road as the best you can so that you're opening up the next segment of corners. So second through here, once you get through here, you want to try and stay to the middle up to third gear. Now this is the unique bit, so there's a couple of ways you can approach this, but I'll tell you why I do this the way I do it. So get nice and close to the curb. Once I come off the curb, I actually start to brake the car early. So I brake the car, let the car trail all the way out to the curb on the outside, and then I rotate the car back as soon as I'm at the curb. So I'm not driving the car in as deep, but the reason why I'm doing this is because I'll be able to drive the car on the throttle off this curb and stay to the right hand side as much as possible, which is going to automatically open up the next segment of corners for us, which is a long back straight with the chicane. So I set myself up, I sacrifice a little bit mid to exit to make sure that this next segment I'm actually gaining time. So from in third gear through here, stay in the middle of the road, use all the curb over the first one, stay away from the second curb but get close to it, but don't hit it, and then run the car. I put half the car over the back of this, but I try and get back on the circuit as quick as possible. I know there is off tracks and slowdowns somewhere on there. I don't know where it is exactly. I haven't explored the full limit, but with this car, you don't have to run that wide because you're not carrying so much speed through there. So, and then as you're coming down the back straight, set yourself back up on the left-hand side of the track, the right-hand side of the track, sorry. I'm using just after this little escape road, so the 4 board, but I use the escape road as sort of my marker. Fifth gear, back to second gear again. It's another big braking zone. It's another curb you want to stay off. So same again, turn in just around the 1 board. Turn the car in at the corner. Get as close to it as you possibly can. And then sort of put yourself back on the left-hand side of the track to open up the next segment. Short shift to third gear. So you're in third through here. Use all the curb here. And you're just sort of dancing on the brake and the throttle, just trying to get as much speed through here as possible, but you're using all the circuit. Same again here, use the curbs, and then set yourself back up on the left-hand side of the track quickly to turn in quite early. So I actually aim for the edge of the grass, and I cut as much of this off as I can. Be careful, there is a black flag penalty there, so you've got to be careful, but you want to try and it'll just help rotate the car a little bit. Then use all the curb on the exit over here, like run all the speed, still in third gear, up to fourth gear. Flat through here, get as close to the curb as possible. As soon as you've come off the curb, start to track the car out as wide as possible. You want to brake at about the 250 marks, so halfway between the 2 and the 3. Fourth gear, back to second. Same again here, turn in at the 1 board. car is going to understeer a little bit here, so you're going to run a little bit wide. So you'll end up about in this sort of situation. Start tracking yourself back towards the right-hand side of the circuit. And then I lift off the throttle and then tap the brake just to trail the nose in slightly, get to the curb as much as possible. Then from that point, you're going to run wide, but that's all right because then you can sort of just carry the speed through this last corner and just sort of, you might have to lift slightly. The rear of the car does move around a little bit through here. Let the car track out nice and wide, out onto the fence by this traffic light system here, and then run it down to the start finish line. And there you go, guys. That's a lap of Indianapolis Road Course in the GT4s. We'll give you a hot lap now, and good luck. And that, guys, is a lap of Indy Road Course in the GT4. Good luck for your week of racing. Thanks, guys.